Hey everybody, Chris here, and welcome to a week late, Dark Avengers comic book review. We will be posting this, as you can see by mine, and you will see Mike's when he gets in front of the camera's hat. I will be posting this on Christmas Eve. We are not shooting this on Christmas Eve. We are actually shooting this 2 days before. It's 2 days before Christmas Eve now. Yeah. The reason I'm shooting this 2 days before Christmas Eve, but not uploading it until Christmas Eve, is because I have this week's comics that are somewhere out there that might be delivered tomorrow, and if they're delivered tomorrow, then we're going to shoot that video on Christmas Eve night and have it up by Christmas Eve night, Christmas morning. Granted, you guys probably aren't going to see this episode or the next episode until after Christmas or sometime at night during Christmas. So once again, hope you guys had or are having, depending on when you're watching this video, a Merry Christmas, great holiday, and getting everything that you guys have wanted. Really quick, before I get into the comic books that we got this week, which was the week of December 14th, that's 2 weeks ago, December 14th, 2011.
Actually, 2 weeks ago was the 7th, wasn't it?
No, the 14th, because this week is the 21st, next week's the 28th, this is the 14th.
Oh, I'm on numbers.
You're talking about the ones we did in the last episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, two old comics I got. Astonishing X-Men #3, which was the death of Wolverine. Really not. It turned out later on that Wolverine was death, I believe. Right, it was death? He was death, I believe? I don't even remember. But yeah, I figured I'd grab this. It came with a free bookmark in it with the Unlimited, Spider-Man Unlimited from Fox Kids and the Avengers from Fox Kids, and yeah, I thought it was a nice little combo. That was just like a 75-cent comic that they were selling. The real big comic that I wanted that's probably going to end up somewhere on my wall, Spider-Man Unlimited #8. This cover was just too good to pass up, and the story is definitely worth it. The cover and the story are perfect. So basically I bought it for the cover, but I was not disappointed by the story that was inside. And that's enough said. And those are the old comics. So now, guys, we're going into the week of the 14th, and you said the 8th. Funny you said the 8th. We have one comic book from the 8th. The 7th. That is coming out, that's in this pile, but not this book. This book was a book that you could come sit down now. This book was delayed for approximately, I would say, a good month. Now, I didn't review books 1 and 2. I'll give you a briefing on the first two. We all know now that, well, first of all, I'm talking about Locke and Key #3, but before we get into #3, let's get into 1 and 2. We're now in Clockworks. First issue, we were back in time and we learned about the origin of the Omega Key, and we saw Tyler and, fudge, I keep forgetting that poor girl's name, and I've read through every single book so many times, you'd think I would remember the girl's name for the life of me, but no, I never do. Last pick, Kinsey. And Kinsey traveled back in time to see the Omega Key and everything like that, and then the second issue jumped into the finding of the Clockworks Key. And the Clockworks Key is then introduced here, where the Clockworks Key, you could unlock they unlock the clock, and they can basically travel back in the time, but they do make the notice that the clock does not go into the year 2000, so they can only go back from 1999 all the way back to whenever Key House was brought up, so to speak. First they go back to colonial times. I don't know why, but they do. It was kind of funny though. My birthday was actually the birth of the date, the original date that was in the clock. It was kind of funny. Look, I'm not joking. No, that's December 31st. Let's go back to the beginning. I am not joking. When they opened the clock, it actually said May 29th, they're 2 years off. You were 89.
Right, but
this says May 29th, 1988. I was 2 years old when this clock apparently stopped working.
Talk about irony.
I know, right? That was kind of funny. That was hilarious. I found that really funny. So they travel back finally to see their father when he was a kid, when his mom wasn't mind wiped of the keys, because apparently once you get out of high school, one of the rules of the keys is you forget that they're magical, you forget their abilities and everything like that. You don't believe in the keys anymore. It's kind of like the Fairly Odd Parents. Once you grow up too much, you don't believe in fairy godparents anymore. You can't have it anymore. So basically, they go back in time, and it turns out that their father was the one that wanted to use the Omega Key to bring out a demon. And I think that was to attempt to eradicate the rule where once they got to a certain age, the keys, they wouldn't remember about the keys or their abilities anymore.
We're talking about supernatural demon or just demon?
It just says demon.
Oh, okay.
The Omega Key opens a door, and on the other side is demons. And at this time in the past, Dodge is a good guy. He's a nice guy. He's not possessed by the demon yet. And don't forget, he's also, his spirit is in Bode's body right now. Bode is somewhere out there floating around in the spirit realm, and eventually probably he'll get his body back, we hope. So, and also on the top here it says 10 issues till it's all over. Now I know each of these books is approximately 4 to 5 parts each. The next part is not the conclusion. I don't know if they're going to go all the way through all 10 other issues and it's going to be 13 issues of this Clockworks. I doubt it. I think this is going to go to issue 5, which is 2 more from now. 9, 8. There'll be 8 issues left. I guess they'll either do 2 chapters with 4 parts each, or a chapter with 3 and then a chapter with 5 again, and the 5 will be the ending. No idea. I'm sure there'll be one-shots in between. Really, really good. Locke and Key. I took a gamble by getting the first volume and haven't looked back since. It is an awesome series. I highly recommend it. It's IDW. IDW gave us Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters 2. This is a series I would absolutely recommend. It's written by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King. Really good. I'm going to be reviewing volumes 2 through 4 at some point in my Comic Corner reviews. Now we're in the main 2. First from Marvel, released on the 8th, X-Men number 22. I've already made the decision that once this storyline is over with the Sentinels, I will be dropping X-Men because they're going right back to the vampires again, and so I'm not even bothering. Story's good with the Sentinel. I'd say check it out. Good artwork. It's guest starring War Machine. Some good moments in here. I would go more in depth, but to be honest, I'm dropping this book once this story's over anyway, so to be honest, I'm not going to really promote this book too much because it's not a book I'm going to be getting like in the full run. I'm only getting it for the story.
You're kind of thinking, don't you think that they're a little ODing with zombies and now vampires?
Oh, they're ODing with vampires, absolutely.
Very much.
A book that kind of let me down a bit. Mike read this book too, so you can actually talk about this one. Avengers X-Sanction, part 1 of 4. The lead up to Avengers versus X-Men, which is coming out, I believe issue number 0 is coming out in March.
I think that's what it said, actually.
Well, there you go. So, but anyway, Cable's back, and he's after the Avengers because the Avengers apparently kill Hope, whom was like his daughter. Not really his daughter.
Not really.
She was like his daughter.
Yeah, that's why.
He trained her and everything, so now he's capturing all the Avengers. He captures the Falcon, and then at the end of this issue, he captures Captain America. Next issue, they claim is Iron Man. And I basically gave you the entire rundown of this, minus a few flashbacks where somebody in the future saying Hope was killed and all hope on Earth. When we looked to Hope for help, she was already dead. So basically, Cable feels it's the Avengers. It was like Avengers did it. Cable's back now to stop the Avengers and kill them. And the last page was like, whoa, because you know he's not going to do it.
I'll tell you, the Captain America versus Cable scene fight was really amazing.
That was good. There was a fight between Captain America and Cable. Unfortunately, Cable got the upper hand. Of course.
Of course.
Of course, because you can't let Cap win in the very beginning, because that ruins the entire miniseries. Ed McGuinness artwork.
Just wow.
Never gets old. I love it. I love Ed McGuinness's artwork. It's just really,
like
really
that
good.
One?
Yeah, no, I want it, but that's the last page, isn't it? Yeah, no, it isn't. No. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. Yeah, Ed McGuinness's artwork, really, really good. Really good artwork. However, though, I'm not sure how I feel about this series yet. It feels like it's a lead up. You know it's a lead up. The story really doesn't have. It's okay. It doesn't have its bearings. I'm going to give it, yeah, of course, I'm giving it to the next issue. I'm probably going to get all 4 because it's going to lead into Avengers vs. X-Men, which we've seen in the past. A lot of people are complaining that Marvel's rehashing old ideas. You know what, guys? DC's rehashing the reboot card. So if you want to talk about anybody rehashing any type of card that they've played already, DC's done it 3 times already with rebooting their universe. Marvel's just doing their ideas over again with better ideas involved. Seriously, it's all been practically done before.
And they're good ideas.
Yeah, so don't say that they're just doing the same thing over because, no offense, think about it. DC's rebooted 3 times. Marvel's, if this is the second time, it's a lot. This is the second time they're doing Avengers versus X-Men. Don't play that card, that they're playing the same card over. That's just lame. New Avengers number 19. Now, you want to talk about doing something over again, and it's Brian Michael Bendis writing this.
Oh.
Norman Osborn has the Dark Avengers again. His new Dark Avengers team, which he claims is better than his first Dark Avengers team, going out there playing superheroes, and they're really supervillains. Again. You want to talk about somebody playing the same card? Brian Michael Bendis is definitely playing the same card here. It's the same shit. The good Avengers versus the bad Avengers. And somebody on the inside, we're meant to believe it's Victoria Hand, but I don't think it's Victoria Hand. It's somebody else.
It could be.
And basically Norman Osborn put his team together. Miss Hammer, or whoever the girl is with the green hair, I can't remember her name for the life of me. I read these today, mind you guys. Remember, I just got them today, but I wasn't going to wait till December 24th to review them. They're all waiting for Norman Osborn to fail because his madness is what builds things up, and then his madness is what destroys him in the end. And they're waiting for him to screw up so they can take over. They're going to let him build everything up, and then when he goes ape shit, they're going to throw him down and take over and continue on with his... they're basically piggybacking off of him, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So there's an emergency. The new Avengers go to the rescue, and it turns out the Dark Avengers beat them to it. To be continued. Before that, we're at the spot where Iron Man was fighting Ultimo, and the new Avengers are the reason why Ultimo's whole story changed, and the explosions and whatnot, and Tony Stark is pissed off. And yeah, that's about it. And Jessica Jones is kind of creeped out because Norman Osborn threatened to kill her baby. And yeah, they say Brian Michael Bendis is leaving the Avengers after this story. I think it's about time. Yeah, I think it's about time.
You, God.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Definitely.
Brian Michael Bendis.
Because no offense, it's the same thing. The same thing. A new Dark Wolverine, a new Miss Marvel, a new this, a new that. Come on. The Dark Avengers was just done. I mean, if you're gonna play the Dark Avenger card again, Bendis, wait a while. I mean, come on. You just disbanded the Dark Avengers, what, 19 issues ago? So about a year ago, and you're already bringing them back again? Come on.
Like people wouldn't actually catch on and notice.
It's the same story. It's the same story,
the same
different
thing.
situation. Instead of it being the Dark Reign now, it's the Heroic Age. And the Dark Avengers are now the underdog instead of the Avengers. So now the underdog is going to try to get the upper hand on the people's...
It's like reruns.
And people are picketing outside the new Avengers mansion. It's like, come on! What's going on?
New ideas, maybe?
Once Brian Michael Bendis is off the comics, I think they're going to really...
I think Marvel will be saved after he's gone.
No offense. I mean, guys, I'm really enjoying the new Avengers and all, and it's good to see Norman Osborn back. But first of all, Norman Osborn is a Spider-Man villain. He belongs in the Spider-Man comics, not the Avengers.
And as Green Goblin.
And as Green Goblin, yes. I haven't seen... Have you seen a good Green Goblin story in the past, what, 6 years?
Actually, it was after Ultimate Spider-Man, then that was it.
No, not even Ultimate Spider-Man. In the mainstream universe, when was the last time Norman Osborn was Green Goblin, as a matter of fact? When was the last time this man was Green Goblin? Because figure, he has been running Hammer for about 2-3 years. You know, with the Dark Avengers and the Dark Reign and everything. And he saved everybody from the Secret Invasion. When was the last time Norman Osborn was Green Goblin?
The only thing that's coming into my head was Ultimate Spider-Man.
It had to have been somewhere in Brand New Day.
I think it was that.
Somewhere in there. And then that was it. And then all of a sudden now he's like this good guy who wants to save the world, but he has a twisted way to do it.
Next thing you know,
Lex Luthor, maybe?
Oh,
and he looks like Tommy Lee Jones still. I like that. I like that. If they ever make a Spider-Man movie, you gotta cast Tommy Lee Jones now as Norman Osborn.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, They're making him like
I'm
the
waiting.
next big thing.
Then when this is over and Norman Osborn ends up back in jail, which I'm praying will be soon, and get Bendis off these books, because it's not just going through New Avengers, it's going through Avengers and New Avengers. So that's 2 Avengers books that are focused on just the Dark Avengers or the new Dark Avengers.
Yeah, let's just move on.
I'm hoping that after this, Norman Osborn goes back to the Spider-Man books as Green Goblin, and we never hear, at least for a while, from Norman Osborn in the Avenger books again. Book Mike read it with me.
Yep.
Marvel Holiday Special #1, because Lord knows with DC's New 52, they're not doing that this year, unless you count Batman Noel, and no offense, I would not count that as a holiday special. I would count that as a holiday book. This has several stories in it. I'll do a few and then you do a few, or you want to do it? You know what, you take it. You never did a Marvel book.
Okay.
You've never done a Marvel book like this. You've only done Punisher.
Yes.
So go right ahead. I'll take a break.
Okay. So there was, yeah, you could have a drink of that. When I read the stories in the Marvel Holiday Special, I mean, it just made me smile. I mean, the Wolverine story.
Oh, the ice hockey.
The
That
ice
was
hockey.
good. No powers, and they ended up using powers.
Yeah, and then they all go back. I mean, it's all about really getting together. Even Spider-Man they showed where that woman was in jail and he brought her the album of her family, which I thought was... The only thing that really got us, really, was Ben Grimm celebrates Hanukkah. I'm not...
He didn't get me. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I just didn't know he was Jewish. I mean, it's a...
Yeah, Mike came and he's like, Chris, I didn't know the thing was Jewish. So
I didn't know, but I'm just saying, you know...
Could you imagine that brisk with the never mind.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But anyway, there's also Nick Fury.
Oh yeah, Saint Nick. They call him Saint Nick. I remember that.
Yeah, where he meets up with this Scar who's a villain, then brings a picture that his boy was born and all that. It's really all about being nice to one another and getting together, which I thought...
I loved it.
I loved it.
I really... I'll be honest, I wasn't going to get this. I said I wasn't going to get it all the way up until I saw it on the list of comics, and I said, you know what? It's $3.99. Was it $3.99? Yeah, I'll just grab it, because there really wasn't that many comics this week, so I said grab it, and
I think there were 4 stories, were there?
4, approximately, yeah.
Should I check?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But guys, if you're the type that likes holidays, this book...
Good. Especially if you like Wolverine. The ice hockey was really good.
That was just...
Now, a book that came in a baggie. This baggie. Uncanny X-Force number 18. It came in this nice black baggie, so nobody could read it unless they bought it, which was really interesting, but yes. And also the variant came in a black poly bag. This is the actual comic. I took it out of the poly bag. I'll save the poly bag somewhere. But yeah, anyway... by now you guys know, spoiler alert, Betsy killed Archangel, or stabbed him with the life seed, and you think he dies. That's basically the gist of this entire book. The kid they killed in the first story arc, where I was ready to drop X-Force, turns out he's alive and he's calling himself Genesis, not the New Apocalypse. Phantom X has been housing him or something like that for a while. It was kind of confusing at times for me. Maybe it's because I just read through this really quickly. So basically, they beat Archangel and win, and then in the very end, Warren shows up. He's human again, no blue skin, no nothing. He still has his angel wings, but he has no memory. And that's how they basically ended the book.
Wow.
Long story short, really very little Wolverine. It basically followed Phantom X, Psylocke.
Is that Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool wasn't even in it.
Wow, what a way to...
And that's about it. It featured basically the 3 of them and Archangel, and everybody's trying to stop Archangel. So yeah, it was a good book though. I've been, I'm very happy that I did not drop this title after the first story, because it has definitely picked up. Yes, it took 9 parts to tell this story. It was good though. A few people didn't like it. I like it. I'll be back for the next issue, see what's going to go on next. Hopefully the artwork isn't as bad as I saw on the cover for the next cover.
Yeah, we saw that the other night.
Hopefully the artwork is not bad in Uncanny X-Force 19, but I'll be sticking around until things go to hell, and then I'll probably drop it and get something else.
Okay.
Number one, he read it, and Mike wants to talk about it. I'm all for it because it's a Spider-Man book. Go for it, Mike. Carnage U.S.A. Number 1 of 5.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It ends in April.
The artwork reminded me of like the quality of life.
This artwork was really good. It was
like
computer
3D
made.
and all that. Yeah.
Just like Carnage Family Feud. For those of you who remember, I got that Family Feud book. This is the same artist. His name is Clayton Crane.
Yeah.
I believe it's Clayton Crane.
But it brought back the quality of life feeling. But just to make a long story short, it talks about his origin and the Avengers that features Captain America.
About his origin. He was in he took over a town. He possessed a town with his symbiote.
That's the other. Oh, my bad.
You're in the other book.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. He takes.
You're in the book that you're talking about later.
Sorry.
Redo.
Redo. Blech. So he possesses the people in the town, and the Avengers.
He held them hostage after a while, though. That was kind of creepy.
And that was really creepy.
Yeah.
And everybody smiled and all that. And
I wonder what happened to the 6-armed Spider-Man from Family Feud, the one that had his legs cut off.
Yeah.
They didn't show him in this.
No, they didn't actually.
I think he's called Demo Goblin or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, but after the Avengers are going after Carnage, which features Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man himself, things don't look well in the end, and I'm not going to spoil it.
No, but there is one thing I'm going to spoil. At the very end, when all is thought to be lost, the government has a contingency plan. 5, as a matter of fact. Venom, Anti-Venom, Toxin, Scorn, and Hybrid.
The very last page.
It's the very last page. They have a contingency plan.
Yeah, Hybrid.
Hybrid, Toxin, Venom, Scorn, and Anti-Venom. So they've got 5 contingency plans to go against Carnage. Let me show you some artwork.
Yeah.
The artwork is astounding.
Just phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Definitely is that's a definite good word for it.
I mean, I'm definitely on board with issue 2 getting this.
I'm absolutely on board. This series was really, really good, and I'm looking forward. Here we go. I'll give you guys the last page. The Avengers under Carnage's control.
That I was not going to spoil it, but
yes.
Oh well.
It was really. By now, everybody's read this. This is a week late. You forget. The artwork's great. The story's really good. Hawkeye poked some fun at the thing about him using the
same words over and over.
That's kind of weird and out of character for Hawkeye, in my opinion. The way I've been reading him, it's kind of weird that he'd be picking on Ben so much.
Yeah.
But Carnage U.S.A. has me hooked all 5 issues. It's really good, guys. Best book out of Marvel this week, in my opinion, next to X-Force, the holiday special, and yeah, that's it. X-Force and the holiday special. X-Sanction was alright. We'll run through everything in the end, but I would definitely say check this out. How much time do we have left?
4 minutes.
Alright, we're going to go into DC. We'll do one from DC. Resurrection Man number 4. I am officially now on the fence with Resurrection Man because it's starting to get very repetitive. Turns out the 2 girls are from hell, and he finally slows things down enough, if you guys saw the preview, to actually talk to one of them. She realizes finally that he doesn't have any memory. They're fighting this guy called the Transhuman, who basically created this machine that gives him superpowers, but the downside to that is he gets old. Every time he uses it, it drains some of his life. That's why he's an old man now. He's really only 19. And that's why they think he's crazy, but he's not. Then, long story short, the angel from issue 1 comes back and wants to take Mitch with her because she wants to take him back to heaven or whatever is going on, because if I really understand what's going on. So now you have the 2 girls fighting for him to go to hell, and you have the angel who's fighting to take him with her to heaven, from what I can understand, and you have that poor guy who's 19, but he's an old man already because his transhuman suit, whatever, is draining his life force.
That's a lot.
And in the end, the most messed up part, and here's the spoiler, the angel of all people basically eviscerates him, turns him to dust basically with her powers. I don't even know what she did. I'll show you guys, and you can tell me.
Yeah, because I'm kind of...
she does this, and he turns into dust. She does this, and he basically evaporates in her
So that's like a
angel
magic.
blasting. I love this picture though. This was really good. She's like, "Oops, I must have destroyed the unkillable. I must have killed the unkillable or something." I'm like, "Really? You really just said that?"
Well, it's better than saying, "Oops, I did it again," or something like that.
I'm on the fence. I'm sorry. I think this series is about ready to go out the door because it's the same shit. I mean, 4 issues of running away from heaven and hell, and he doesn't have any memories, and a 19-year-old kid that's an old man because of his suit. This doesn't sound like my cup of tea. I'll give it to the next issue, and if it doesn't pick up, and by pick up I mean it better wow me, or else I'm not going to be coming back in February for issue 6. I'll get issue 5.
We shall see.
We'll see. How much time do we have left? I don't think we have much time. 2 minutes. Well, I'll bullshit with this for a bit. I will say this with I did find one thing out about Superboy. He went back to Project Nowhere. I'm glad I dropped this book when I did. He went back to Nowhere. They released him. He beat in the end he beat Jean 13. He beat the girl. And Nowhere gives him their card and he leaves. And they say it's up to you if you want to come back. And in the end, the long story short, he goes back to them. Go figure. Glad I dropped it. They ruined Superboy. Congratulations, DC, with your rebooting shitty ways. And you've ruined a good percentage of your superheroes. And some of them you've managed to save, the ones you didn't reboot. And others you've managed to make look better, Aquaman. But in the long run, though, you kind of screwed the Superman universe now. Basically, they turned Superman into the old Aquaman. He's going to be a piece of crap by the time 2014 comes.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Thank God, at least. You know, this is what I mean. People are claiming Marvel's playing the same card over and over again. Now, I'll agree to that in the Avengers titles, in Avengers and New Avengers, with the whole Dark Avengers thing. We just got out of that, and they're throwing the Dark Avengers back again. This is me thinking Brian Michael Bendis is on too many comic books. He needs to limit his comic books, go back to the Ultimate Comics, and stay there. Because they're putting him in too many books, and you know what? You can only come up with so many ideas. So that's why he's rehashing the Dark Avenger thing again in Norman Osborn.
But, you know, Lord knows, what if he does something else? Like reboot or worse?
No, they're not going to reboot. Marvel can't reboot.
Or give the same ideas, whereas people are going to start getting sick of seeing it because they're going to say, oh, we saw this already.
What I feel is they've done everything. The 90s and 80s have put every single superhero in every single situation possible. Death, life, resurrections, and new villains and big events. There's really not much left. So now you can't knock Marvel for doing the same thing over again when it comes to certain things. You can whack them down for using the Dark Avengers not even 2 years after they use it, but you can't really knock them for trying Avengers vs. X-Men again, because it's a different situation. It may be the same title, but it's a different situation. So you can't knock them for that. And we're at 28 minutes.
Okay.
So we're done with our rant. Like I said, guys, if you're going to trump anything, trump DC for rebooting for the 3rd time now. At least Marvel's keeping their universe, regardless of same ideas or not. Alright, guys, so we'll be in part 2 with the rest of DC, and we'll wrap up this week. So we'll see you guys in the next part.